If you've looked at the calendar lately, you know that it is December. We are in the first week of Advent. St. Nicholas Day was earlier this week. And yes, Christmas is less than 3 weeks away. Yeah, okay. That was a shock for me to say out loud. So, of course, that means I'm going to start working on Christmas cookies. Most years, I actually do that sooner than now. Usually, like Thanksgiving weekend, I'll get to work on them. Things have just been really crazy busy lately, though, so it's taken me a little while. So I'm going to start tonight. And in case you're wondering what kind I'm making, I'm starting with this contraption. If you haven't seen an old school Spritz cookie maker before, that's what this is. It's a metal tube, nice empty tube, with a plunger, and you basically, when you're using it, you just crank the plunger down and it pushes cookie dough out the other end. I use basically two cookie molds, forms, plates. There's a wreath, which it does actually look like a wreath when you spray it out. And, sorry, I misplaced, the tree. And again, when the cookie dough comes out, it does get mushed out and it looks more like a tree. So, tree and a wreath. Ta-da! The wreath, if you use the same amount of dough, the wreath will make about 5 dozen cookies, while the Christmas tree will make about 3, because it does take more. I know there are like cookie guns out there, things that are automated, everything else. Honestly, probably a little bit easier to use than the old-fashioned hand crank. The catch with the hand crank is that you have to get just the right amount of dough out to make it stick to the pan, but not so much that it squishes out the mold. If you don't get enough to stick it to the pan, it will actually stay attached to the plate, and it will just kind of lift up off the tray. So I'll have some photos of that as I go along, obviously, so you can see what I mean. I'm not going to try to video that because, you know me, I only have 2 hands, and that would not work well. Of course, if you're doing this, you have to have a few specific things. You may need food coloring, and yeah, this is old style. This is the kind in droppers and everything, but a nice bottle of green here. Because of course wreaths and trees can both be green, so I have green. The dough itself is fine without being colored, but it's more fun. Also, I think more fun are sugar crystals, which also make a really good maraca if you want to celebrate a nice Feliz Navidad. So yeah, there's red and green. And to go along with those, now I admit this is not for everyone. This is for people with a very particular taste. We also have red and green cherries. Now, as you may remember from when I was doing the Christmas cake, there were some cherry chips in that, red cherry chips, and I was saying it might be nice to have some green ones. Well, these are the red and green. They are candied within an inch of their lives, because yeah, they made red cherries bright green and kind of translucent, transparent. It's a little creepy. But what you do is you cut them in half and put them into the wreaths, and then they're very pretty. And I have relatives who like them, calling out, I won't call out specific people, because that would be my sister and my dad, and I don't want them to get mad at me before Christmas. But anyway, so they probably won't get mad because they know that I'm making them this way, so they know that they'll get them. So we've got the cherries, we've got the sugars, we've got the gun, both halves, as well as the plates, and I guess that means it's time to get going. So if you've never made them before, check out the photos. It's actually one of the easiest recipes to make. It's just the pressing is a little bit, temperamental sometimes. So really easy. People love them. Oh, and I should mention, they work really well with gluten-free dough. I did them last year with gluten-free. Gluten-free with butter. I usually cook with margarine, as you probably know by now. But I did them gluten-free with butter. They turned out really, really well. Basically identical to the regular ones. So if you're looking for something to do for the gluten-free folks on your list, This is definitely a cookie to use. All right? I will see you in a little while. Thanks.